Aber wir sind jede Menge Zeug losgeworden. Jetzt müssen wir bloß noch das loswerden. Das werden, denke ich mal, beim Schmied loswerden, ne? Ah, dementsprechend können wir ja eigentlich sogar unser Zeug holen. Weitergehen.
Good to see you.
Captain, what'll happen with that robber baron from Apollonia now that we've captured him?
You mean Gules? He'll stay with us. Lord Samine has already taken him on.
Do you think you can trust him?
Don't worry. If Gules doesn't prove himself, Lord Samine won't trust him.
Why did he take on a bandit? I have to admit, he's a skillful swordsman, but he's still just a common bandit.
Not so common. They say he's of noble birth, so Lord Samine didn't have much choice.
Such a good swordsman could prove to be quite handy.
True. If he proves himself, that is.
And how should he do that?
Clearly, we didn't wipe out his old gang of bandits in Apollonia. So he's got to catch the rest of his people that are still on the rampage.
How did Gules end up?
He's a noble, so Lord Samine took him into his service.
What? Why would he do that? After Gules tried to rob him?
That's the nobility and their rules for you. A peasant would get the noose right away. But the lords play a different game together.
And you don't have a problem with that, Captain?
I don't, but I'll keep a close eye on him. Trust me. But anyway, there's all sorts in service in Samine. You can't do a job like this for long without getting dirty hands.
I expect the same applies to you?
My hands might be dirty, but my conscience is clean. There's some folk might tell you a different story, but that's how it goes.
What happened with the blacksmith's hands in the end?
A fine pair of rascals they were. His lordship let the younger fella be, Franzi. He swore on a cross that he didn't want no part in thievery, and it was that cousin of his, the older fella, Vensar, what talked him into it. So he kept him here as a hand. His lordship has a kind heart.
And how did Vensar end up?
Not good. Lord Samine had him strung up from a tree near here. Normally, we'd have sent for the executioner, but time was pressing.
I think I've heard all I need. I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
I'm interested in sword fighting.
Wie ich mir einfach jetzt mal alles
I'll tell you
leisten
some
kann.
interesting thing.
I'd like to learn something.
What is this about?
I'm still not very good.
Fine.
I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
I hope you can tell me.
Fine.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
All right. Why the hell not? As long in the tooth as I am, I can tell you most men who pick up a sword know little or nothing of it. So it's best to just forget about any tricks and simply send them to the ground with one quick slash. Would you like me to show you?
That sounds good. Teach me that.
All right. Now, where was I? Oh, right. How to bring a bloke down before he finds the hole you made in him. Well, first you hit him a few times from the right, and then at the same time, you slash him in the throat with a step to the right. Aye, a seriously fast and deadly hit, especially when your opponent is a dumb bumpkin. Now come and try it a few times, lad. You'll never learn it just by wagging your tongue.
Sollte ich eigentlich.
Enough.
Oder auch nicht.
My shoulder will be killing me.
I'd like to learn in...
Fighting with a longsword is all the rage, but it's not for me. You know what they say about old dogs learning new tricks and all that? But there is one thing I've learned, so I'd be glad to show it to you if you're interested.
That sounds good. Teach me that.
So this technique is when, during a deep thrust, you unexpectedly drop your right hand from the sword, and then you can get much farther with your left hand. It's just like a sting, right between the opponent's eyes. Now come and try it a few times, lad. You'll never learn it just by wagging your tongue. Good? God bless.
I'd like to learn in...
I can show you how local men fight with pikes. It's not that noble a weapon, but it is dangerously effective. One slash across the belly and you've got him where you want him. What do you say?
That sounds good. Teach me that.
So listen, lad. You start slicing the pike with a slow arc to yank the opponent's weapon aside. This will throw him off balance, so then you slice the pike's blade into his unprotected belly. If you do it right, it's all over. Believe me. Now come and try it a few times, lad. Enough.
Ja, und somit sind wir schon wieder so gut wie pleite, ne? Nur noch 231. Mal eben 1200, 300 ausgegeben.
Should we have a practice?
I don't have time for you right now. See you soon, my friend.
Ausbildung ist teuer, ja. Das Gewicht deiner angelegten Rüstung beeinflusst deine Bewegungsgeschwindigkeit sowie die Ausdauerkosten fürs Spoten. Mit dieser Spezialisierung ist deine Rüstung 20 Pfund leichter, sodass du beim Tragen weniger Ausdauer verbrauchst. Weder das eigentliche Gewicht deiner Rüstung noch deine Trage verändert sich dabei. Oh ja. Ja, ausnutzen kannst du verursachst 15% mehr Schmetterschaden mit Jagdschwertern. Wenn du mit einem Säbelangriff eine Blutung verursachst, blutet das. Okay. Dein Kutschwert. Camps ist deine Verteidigung um 30% erhöht und deine Angriffe. Oh, war das.
What would you like?
Show
Pleasure doing business. Take care. If my luck keeps up, it'll be over soon.
I feel a lucky roll.
What game would you like?
Let's play beggars.
Let's play.
Na, probieren wir es mal aus.
I'm seriously curious about you, lad.
Da fehlt bloß die 2, ey.
Aye, that'll do. Finished.
Oh, aye. We didn't
Your
have such dice when I was young. We shaped them out of clay and played with them. And they were rounded and didn't have any numbers on them. You have to have a bit of sense and count the dice.
Here.
What?
I knew it would be good.
Oh,
I
come
said
on.
as much.
Even a fool gets lucky sometime.
Lübt? Es lübt?
That
Damn.
was good. It has
Shit.
to work out sometime.
Mother of God.
That's what I'm talking
What
about,
are you
damn it.
punishing me for?
That's how you have...
Are you being...
Would you like to throw...
What game would you like?
I actually...
Excuse me.
God bless. What would you like?
I heard there's a wedding coming up. Your son and the bailiff's daughter. That'll be a great feast.
Aye, and a pretty expensive one, too. But older is my only son. He deserves a wedding that'll be the talk of the county for a long time.
Can I come and see it? I've never been to a nobleman's wedding before.
Henry, you helped us with the weapons. But don't you think you're getting a bit too bold?
Elf. Tut mir leid.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm just curious.
I understand, but don't get above yourself. Better help Radovan the blacksmith. Maybe he'll take you to the wedding. He's forging a wedding present for my son. Till we meet again.
Stork?
Not stork, a different kind of bird.
If you say so.
blessed evening to you.
Have you already taken care of your band?
Don't you start with that too.
So you didn't.
After you attacked me in Apollonia? I'm so battered I can hardly wipe my own arse. Old man Samin will just have to be a bit more patient.
Erst haut er dir auf die Nase, jetzt springt er vor Freude, wenn du beim Würfeln gewinnst. Ja, wir haben uns ja dann wieder vertragen.
What if I helped you?
Well, well. Someone fancies himself.
I can handle a few footpads.
These aren't any ordinary footpads. They're a bunch of the most depraved whoresons I've ever met. Would you dare to take them on?
Sure.
Yeah. Just tell me what I need to do.
So listen up. From what I've heard, there's another 4 of those scum roaming the countryside. I'd bet my boots that a few more will hitch up with them in time, so it won't be easy. You can start with Canker.
Canker? Interesting name. Why is he called that?
He already had that name when he joined us. I reckon they started calling him that on account of how he's rotten to the core.
If you say so.
Hey, don't be cheeky, youngster.
Where can I find him?
I don't know. I only know that he and his band were ambushing travelers on the road from Troskovitz to the Nabarkov mill.
So how do you want to find him then?
Easy. I'd wait for him to find me. With a little luck, he'll ambush you in one of those places too. Or one of his people will.
You don't have a better idea?
What did you expect? That I'd search the whole forest for him? Go ahead and try and find him that way if you like. But I think you're more likely to roll straight 6s and dice.
What do you know about Canker?
Well, he likes to disguise himself as a monk and ambush travelers. He looks convincing in a robe. But otherwise, he's an awful heathen. Always drunk. Just like the rest of his band.
That could be useful.
Definitely. If you get lucky.
What do you know about his band?
Not much. We've never seen them all together, so I can't even tell you how many of them there are. But there won't be many. Canker has never dared tackle anything too big. Usually just some poor souls on their travels.
Again, how did you...
Either you search this entire ravine above, either Canker will do it himself.
That's enough for...
Well, oh.
Bring mir volles Streikholm, wenn du alles erledigt hast.
I'll think about it.
Take care. What?
Nee. Ach stimmt, wir müssen ja noch die andere Quest machen. Mit, das hier.
God bless.
Wo ist denn der Schmied?
What kind of pig is sitting here? Greetings to you.
Good.
You're having problems with the Zheliovites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of their house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Zheliovites right away.
Well, if you've got it all figured out, why don't you do it yourself?
Right. And who's going to run the inn in the meantime, eh? Besides, everyone in Zheliov knows us. If someone from here shows up there, they'll get suspicious.
All right. I'll help you.
Listen up then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Zheliov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is. The finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective, too. Now I mean you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Olbram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh? That sounds like fun.
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
Okay.
All right, then. Olbram's bull will be getting a new coat of paint.
Olbram's going to lose his mind. I can't wait. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Zheliov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Takov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zheliovites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper ass kicking so he'd remember it. And remember it he did. But then fucking Olbram came along, claiming it was the other way around. And that pasture belonged to Zhelyov.
Well, that's a tough nut to crack. Have you tried asking Lord von Burgov for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Olbram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
Show me your wares.
Oh.
Thank you, and a good day to you, friend.
Lord be with you.
Would you like to throw some...
What game would you like to play?
I actually don't want to... I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Project said you might know something.
Did you get tired of blacksmithing and take up farming instead? I just happen to know of something. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days.
Nice.
But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away. You're in the trade, so I can tell you. Listen up then. You take some poppy and thistle and boil them in oil. Then, after it cools off, you add a little herb Paris.
That doesn't sound too complicated. Thank you.
I'll be right with you.
There's a couple more things.
Ask away.
Thanks.
Ja, das Schwert geben wir den noch nicht. Nicht, dass auf einmal, ich weiß nämlich nicht, ob es danach direkt dann zu Hauptquest losgeht oder so. Also mit der Hochzeit. Daher warten wir erstmal noch.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you.
Kann ich nicht darüber reden, okay. Hab gedacht, man kann jetzt wegen der neuen Quest vielleicht mal mit den Vogt drüber reden, aber dem ist nicht so. Okay, ich nehme an, das ist der, ne, den wir brauchen. Mohnblumen, Disteln und Einbeeren. Was sind denn Einbeeren? Wenn man tötet, sind deine Fertigkeiten, die nicht mit den Kampfzutaten um 2 in deine Rede um 3. Hättest du einen Bonus um 2, keine Fertigkeiten, die halten Spiel 6 Stunden lang an. Was heißt töten jetzt? Einfach so jemanden töten oder einfach, oder auch wenn man ihm gegen, wenn man gegen jemanden kämpft? Einbeere. Wächst vorwiegend in tiefen Wäldern, verringert die Ausdauer und die Gesundheit und ruft Müdigkeit hervor.
Shoot!
Ist dein Ernst?
Mother of God, that was terrifying. If it wasn't for you, they'd have torn me to pieces. Thank you, lad.
It was nothing, really. The main thing is you're safe and sound.
Nothing, you say? No, no. Here, for you, and thank you again.
10 Groschen, was?